Hi, everyone. My name is Akua, and I am an attorney fellow with the Commons Law Center, here to talk with you about the Homeownership Asset Preservation Program. Today, I'm going to briefly go over why having a will is important for you and your family. So let's talk about why you probably need a will, even if you're unsure. I'm sure most of us have heard the term, but what exactly is a will? A will is a legal document that becomes effective only when someone dies. It explains who will be in charge of your estate, how your final expenses will be paid, and who will inherit your property and assets after your death. Why is having a will important? Now, why is having a will important? If a person dies with a will in place, it is known as dying testate. If a person dies without a will, they are considered to have died intestate. When a person dies intestate, their property will pass by Oregon intestate laws. These laws may or may not mirror how you would have liked your property to be distributed, which is why it is always better to have a will. Wills serve two very important purposes. The first reason for having a will is that it allows you to leave your assets to whomever you want, in the way you want when you die. The second benefit to creating a will is that it allows you to name a guardian to care for your kids if they are minors when you pass away. Even when you do not have any assets to plan for, naming a guardian is one of the most important reasons that a parent would still need to have a will. Who is in charge of your will when you die? In your will, you will also name a personal representative, also commonly known as an executor or administrator. The personal representative is responsible for carrying out your last wishes stated in your will and making sure that your final affairs are taken care of. Another common question is, does a will avoid probate? The short answer is no. Having a will does not help you avoid probate, but having a will can make the process easier for your loved ones. What is probate? Probate is a formal court process that notifies potential creditors and heirs of your death, confirms that your debts and final expenses are paid, and transfers title or ownership of your assets. Leaving a will avoids the process of the court having to locate your heirs, also reducing the time and cost of probate. A helpful way to make the probate process less complicated is to know the difference between probate and non-probate assets. Probate assets are required to pass through probate court and be distributed according to your will. Remember, if there is no will, the courts distribute according to intestate laws. Examples of probate assets include real estate and bank accounts that are held in your name alone. Unless you take specific action while you are alive to direct that those assets transfer automatically after you die, the court will have to take additional time to appoint a personal representative to handle your affairs. Non-probate assets include life insurance policies and jointly held assets. These assets pass directly to the surviving joint owner or to the named beneficiary. A will does not control these assets. So, in closing, you probably need a will. Creating a will can reduce the cost of probate and the burden to your family. A will is not just meant for elderly or wealthy people, and the people who don't have lots of money or property are the ones who can least afford the cost of dying without a will. I realize that talking about planning for death is uncomfortable and can be emotional. However, lack of estate planning can cause strain on everyone left behind to pick up the pieces. Loved ones are left scrambling to collect documents and go through the probate process while trying to cope with their grief. With all of that taken into consideration, it's easy to see why it's important to bring up the topic of creating a will. This is where the Homeownership Asset Preservation Program with the Commons Law Center comes in. We have partnered with the African American Alliance for Homeownership to provide free legal services to qualifying households. We are working together to use estate planning as a tool to protect homeownership and transfer wealth between generations. To learn more about the process of getting a will, give Etta Baker with the African American Alliance for Homeownership a call to see if you qualify at 503-595-3517. Thank you for listening.